Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is in a trip to Rwanda. Rigathi went to Rwanda, and in part of his delegation, I could see Charles Jagwa, Owen Bayer, and so many other parliamentarians who accompanied him. Word has it that Paul Kagame has not recognized the presence of Rigathi Gachagua in the country, meaning he hasn't even met Rigathi Gachagua, despite the fact that Rigathi Gachagua is in the country. So I stumbled upon another video where Rigathi Gachagua was actually in Kigali Serena Hotel having a meeting again with the Kenyan people. So these two scenarios are already depicting the fact that Rwanda seems to have given Kenya a wide berth in those meetings. Of course, we know that Rigathi Gachagua is representing William Ruto. There is an event, I think, about the genocide, something regarding the genocide that took place in Rwanda. So there's an event which is supposed to take place, I think, today. So that event, the expectation is that Rigathi and Paul Kagame will definitely meet. So there is something that is likely to happen, and I think it will happen, because there is an event that took place, I think it could have been last year, where Paul Kagame and Rigathi Gachagua were hosted. And in that meeting, it was about, I think, youth and leadership. Something that was the theme, youth and leadership. So there is something that Rigathi Gachagua mentioned in that meeting, that if you looked at the body posture or the body language of Paul Kagame, it's as if Rigathi Gachagua had exposed Paul Kagame, and Paul Kagame appeared to be unhappy with that remark.
Don't believe that story that you are the leaders of tomorrow. No. Why do you want to be the leaders of tomorrow? Be the leaders of today. Please, let the people of President Kagame's generation and my generation not confuse you and cheat you that you are the leaders of tomorrow.
So I want us to go to that statement that Rigathi Gachagua said back then, and also I would like us to speculate on what is likely to happen should Rigathi Gachagua and Paul Kagame meet, because we expect that that meeting and the remarks that Rigathi Gachagua made in that other meeting will play out here. The consequence of that remark will play out here. So before you do that, I'd like to kindly request you to like this video. That support is so important to us. If you like this video, YouTube shares a video when it gets many likes. Also, if you're a viewer, you can support us by subscribing to our channel to enable our channel grow. Those who supported us before, thanks so much for your support. We know that Paul Kagame has been a man who has principles and firm stands. And Paul Kagame and Ruto, their pictures hiyo ile hawako karibu sana. That explains why Rigathi Gachagua was the one who has been sent to Rwanda. You know, most of the time when William Ruto travels is normally to DRC and maybe other countries, but it's rare. Most of the time it doesn't go to Rwanda. So he chooses to send Rigathi Gachagua. So Rigathi Gachagua was sent to represent William Ruto in this tour, which many people have said Rigathi Gachagua had a huge delegation of people who are not going to add value. You know, members of parliament, someone like Charles Jagwa, what is he going to do there? He is not in leadership position at the moment. But what is he going to do there? If you look at the people who are being introduced there, almost all of them was you could hear the PS here. You could hear member of parliament, women rep. But when it came to Charles Jagwa, what I heard from Rigathi Gachagua is that former member of parliament, Stare, and then I don't know, Kigeugeu Star. That is what I heard. So that is already confirming what someone else talked about in another analysis, that most people there are joyriders. But that has been explained in that analysis. If your person who listened to Boniface Dream, he's talked about it. So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to look at what is likely to happen between Rigathi Gachagua and Paul Kagame. Mind you, I have told you that most of the time Ruto prefers not to go to Rwanda. He goes there, he hardly goes there. It's once in a blue moon. You know, we know that the friendship between Ruto and the DRC president, it's on a high level. You know, it's something that it's out there, people know. So the friendship between Rwanda and Uhuru iko juu. You see, Rwanda, Uganda and Uhuru, those are buddies. But you see, Rwanda, Uganda and Ruto, not buddies. So that is something that we need to emphasize on. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So in this meeting that is taking place, Paul Kagame is expected that we will likely ignore Rigathi Gachagua because of the previous sentiment from Rigathi Gachagua. You know, in the previous meeting where there was it was about youth empowerment, youth leadership, Paul Kagame appeared to have said that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But Rigathi Gachagua decided to counter that remark and said the youths are the leaders of today. And that was received by the youths who are, were happy about that remark. He told them the youth should take leadership positions, So that was to some extent a way of countering what Paul Kagame said. And that's why the reception that Rigathi Gachagua has been given ever since he toured Rwanda, it's if you look at the reception, it's not the kind that would have been given to him, because he's going there to represent William Ruto. So because he's not going there on a personal capacity, but it's going there as to represent William Ruto. So the expectation was that he was to be accorded respect, ya hali ya juu, as if he is president. But we know that he's not the president, he's the deputy president. But he could have been given such a respect, such a recognition, because he is representing William Ruto. So it's like a state visit. In other words, I don't know, but I think it's like a state visit, because looks like William Ruto was invited. Now, because he was invited, he decided to send Rigathi Gachagua, because we know that William Ruto at the moment is in Guinea-Bissau, if I'm not wrong. He was in Ghana, so he's on a shuttle diplomacy, trying to campaign for Raila Amolo Odinga's AU chances, which is getting endorsement from literally all heads of state. So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to look at the extent at which Kagame is likely to ignore Gachagua. And going by the previous engagement, we can comfortably say that Gachagua chuma chake komotoni. Paul Kagame has a way of attacking someone politely, in a very, very calculated manner. You will not know it, but by the time you know it, he has already finished, or he has already destroyed you completely. That's why most of the time BBC people nowadays, they are very keen when they interview Paul Kagame.
My name is Ansoy from the BBC. I have a quick question for President Kagame. As chair of the Commonwealth, I wonder what your priority will be, especially in terms of upholding the values of democracy.
I think checking of facts is a serious problem with the very institutions we should have relied on. When people talk about values, sometimes there's one part of the world that has assumed the sole responsibility and the monopoly of defining values. So the rest of us have no values. We've just to keep learning from these ones who define the values. And by the way, the danger also is, it doesn't matter how long you take learning, you will never qualify. You will just always be branded somebody who has no values or who comes from a place where there are no values. So I want to put this case clear. Those from the north, where BBC comes from, who always think they are the face of values, the rest have to follow. It's a big mistake. It's not true. We have values too. We here in Rwanda, in Africa.
Biden hardly attacks Paul Kagame because he knows what is going to be told. The West are very keen when they approach Paul Kagame. The responses that Paul Kagame give, most of the time, who was in our part are flat-footed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Kagame is likely to be a no-show for Rigathi Gachagua. That is something I foresee, ladies and gentlemen. So you can just go and just comment below there what you think about Gachagua Kagame, Gachagua Kagame, the past engagement, what I shared in this analysis, that video I shared, what is likely to happen. Just tell us below the comment section. So perhaps if you watch this video and you have not subscribed, please take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like. So until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.